I just finished watching some videos online, and xenophobia seems is not it seems it is the big news now in Africa, and it's just so pathetic, very sad. So the propaganda, the Western propaganda has always portrayed South Africa as the 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 emerald of Africa, the ones with the 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 examples that other Africans are following, right? And now we all can see it's totally false. It's because they have their people there, they have their fellow whites there. That's why they behave that way. Propaganda concerning South Africa. South Africa is rubbish, shit. You see, I come on social media and I see South Africans talking about, oh, have you been to my country, South Africa, and they start naming cities and oh, it's so beautiful and this and that. Yeah, Africa is beautiful, come on. Yeah, we all know Africa is beautiful. But the people are crap. Alright? I for one would have expected that with the example Madiba had laid for you guys, you will be far ahead of where we are where you are today. I'm a Nigerian. I wish Madiba had fought for Nigeria. Seriously speaking, you guys have an advantage with that man. Just imagine he was alive to see this. Imagine he was alive to see this. If you are truly a South African and you support this xenophobic crap going on in your country, I think it's high time it spread to other African nations, but only to South Africans. Okay, maybe when South Africans are being treated like outcasts in other African nations, all right, then you are sent back to, not even sent back, you're all killed, all right, and we all cut relations with you. And South Africa is to survive as a sole entity, isolated, no food, starvation, economic decline. Probably the idiot Zulu king that opened his mouth to spit crap will understand what it means to run a nation. Does it think Africa is still primitive? Or is it because it's dressing half naked, walking around with its buck cheek, showing to the world? It thinks we are still running a village setting? We're talking about a nation here, idiot. Go back home and think. Then you come on national television and saying, I was talking about the illegal migrants. For crying out loud, you knew there was tension in the land and you said something like that. You are guilty for those blood spilled in your land. Alright? And for the like minds, your fellow dogs and hyenas. Alright? I know there are some South Africans who are against this, and I'm very appreciative to you guys that are trying to convince your half brothers to turn against this. But for other South Africans that are in support of this crap, do you know the implication of what you're doing? Do you think it's only foreigners are in your land? Don't you know that your people are in foreign lands too? Do you not know what could happen to your people? Oh, so I see. Because African nations, we tend to be passive and hospitable to fellow black people. You decide, okay, we can do whatever, we can do shit, and nothing will happen, right? Fine. Maybe something needs to start happening, right? Even Nelson Madiba, may his soul rest in peace. He was backed by the African community, for crying out loud. If the African community had turned a blind eye to what was going on, which cannot even happen because we are fellow Africans, for crying out loud. But let's imagine if we turned a blind eye and we just pretended that nothing was happening in South Africa. And you guys continue to be oppressed. You think you'll be anywhere today? For crying out loud, you'll be slaves, right? You will still be slaves. So let's forget about human rights and whatever shit that came thereafter. There was human rights when apartheid was in South Africa, right? So what are you talking about? So if you think, okay, they helped us, what the hell? Now we are being oppressed because your president and your monkey head kings cannot provide for you. You turn against the people that are trying to make life better for you. The people who stood behind you. I believe you Christians, right? What God do to murderers? Those people you killed on the street and you believe you're doing it for justice. Their blood are your generations. Right? If you know what you call a chain reaction of events, like the cause of an action, you will understand that this, I put it to you here, this chain of events in South Africa will affect South Africa massively, negatively. If you feel that you are not comfortable in your land, for crying out loud, it's your land. I wonder why South Africans are so stupid. God! What's the difference between you guys and camels? Even camels are kind of intelligent than you are. It's your land. You have the right to deport people. No, it's just crazy, you know. And I think it's because we African nations, we are too perplexed concerning this issue in South Africa, you know. We take things lightly and diplomatic. If you feel you're being oppressed in your land and your government is not doing anything about it, kick them out. Nigerians just did it to their president. They kicked their president out of office because he wasn't performing. Do the same. I see them, they sit in their assembly or whatever and they criticize the government and they do nothing. Nothing happens. I cry for South Africa. If only you know what you're doing. You know, when Jesus died on the cross, he said, Father, forgive them for they don't know what they're doing. But a part of me doesn't want God to forgive you. To your black brother. God, that's just low. That's low. That's like the lowest thing you can ever do. A black brother. God, it's like you're killing yourself. If the white guy is doing this, I know, okay, it's because they're scared, they're not so familiar with the black color, the black race, the black culture, and they're scared and they don't know how to exhibit their fear, so they take it out in violence, and they're just being primitive minded, although they claim to be superior race. I understand that. I think it's perpetual to the white people. That's how they are. You can't change that about them. They are not embracive, they're not open-minded to foreigners. But now I see it's creeping into the black culture. Please, the black people take each other as one. Do not cause division, South Africa. If you try to divide the black race, we set you as an outcast. If that's what you guys want, I think it's high time we African nations stop trying to dialogue with them. Stop trying to persuade them to change their views, because it can never change. I've just done a research on xenophobia, and I said that it's been in existence in South Africa for a long period of time. Now I see why the whites are trying to suppress you. Seriously, now I see it. The whites can't come to Ghana and try that. The whites can't come to Nigeria and try that. They don't bond them well to come to Cameroon and try that shit. They can't try it in Liberia. They can't try it in Morocco. The whites can't come to Uganda and try to suppress Ugandans. The whites can't come to Ethiopia and try to suppress the Ethiopians. What they do, they stylishly try to monopolize business to their profit. That's what they do. But saying that, there are so many foreign shops and this, what the hell? Have you been to Lagos? There are so many foreign stores and businesses in Lagos too, and they strive successfully, and shit doesn't happen. Because why? We're blacks. For crying out loud, even the white people enjoy peace in Lagos. I've always seen these 5 countries as like the big brother of Africa. Ghana, South Africa, Nigeria, Ethiopia, Uganda. I've always seen them as the stronghold, the pillars of Africa. The countries that represent the black spirit. But now it seems South Africa is attempting to fall out of the league. And a graceful fall she takes. I don't want to incite violence. I don't want to support, instigate violence, you know. But it's just so sad. It's just so sad, you know. I don't understand. But one thing is for sure. One thing is for sure. If this doesn't stop South Africans, there is no other way but violence. Alright? Let's make a deal. You stop killing, you forgive. Right? I don't care if there's this xenophobic mentality and you hate all the foreigners. You see, oh, that guy is a Nigerian, oh, that guy is from Senegal, I hate him. Keep that in your fucking head. You keep on being poor because you don't have an open mind. Right? I don't care. Fuck you. But just don't kill, right? Try and pass a law that says all foreigners should get out. I don't care. You will suffer it. You suffer it. Go and make a research on what Idi Amin did. They suffered it. So why not? We get out of your land. Who cares? You fucking die anyways. Alright? Or keep up this stupidity and hypocrisy. You do realize you have South Africans in other nations, right? You know what that means. They are vulnerable. I see foreigners are beginning to take a stand in South Africa. Foreigners are beginning to stand up. When I mean foreigners, I mean black foreigners. Black African nations are beginning to take a stand in South Africa and in their nations. Just imagine if this stand escalates into violence. Imagine the blood of your people being shed all over again. It seems South Africans have this thirst for death. They have this death wish. They have this thirst for oppression and segregation. Because throughout their history, they keep on bringing things that makes them being casted as the minorities. If you don't know a way of expressing your anger and depression to the government, All right, it's the government here, not the foreigners, because the foreigners don't make the policies. No, the foreigners do not control your foreign reserves. Do not control the implementation of the government allocations to states. You say the idiots opened this shit hole and was saying they are bringing drugs and giving to our kids. Maybe he's the one coordinating the distribution of drugs, because how does he know? Sometimes South Africans really disgust me sometimes, but this is just is the peak. I don't think I can ever have respect for South Africans again after this. They totally lost it this time. They're done. I don't see them as a black nation no longer. They've totally lost their place in the black community. What a shame. What a shame.